Hi, this is Chantal Girardi, and welcome to Module 4, which is on personal branding. So we were talking about earlier how you want to be seen online, and your personal profile is vitally important because at the end of the day, people want to do business with real people. So they're going to check you out, they're going to stalk, and they're going to have a look to see how professional you are online. Now, you may choose to have a very public or private profile. It is up to you, but it's important that you understand what each of those mean. So today I'm going to take you through the personal profile and how to set it up and explain some of the settings for you. So please note that Facebook does sometimes change these settings slightly. So it is a good idea for you to go in occasionally and just have a little look. So this over here is your personal profile. You can see that's my name there, Chantal Girardi. And as I said, you need to have a clear image which you can update over here. You can also use a short video in there as well. And you can update your cover photo up at the top left over here. As I said, Facebook does sometimes change these, so just wiggle your cursor around because often wiggling your cursor around actually brings up a few other features that Facebook has. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up this personal profile now. You can see obviously I use mine very much for business, and even though it's a personal profile, I use it very much with my business colors and branding. You may choose not to do that, and that's okay. You may choose to have sunset, picture of family, anything at the back. But please make sure that you do read down below some of the privacy settings that I recommend or privacy rules in place that you should have if you are going to be putting your children on social media. So let's just go through the About section now and we'll set up that. Right, so if you go into the About section on the left-hand side, we're just going to scroll down the left-hand side tabs. That over there is just the overview. What's better to do is just to jump to work and education. So over here, you can put a link to your business page. So you can add a workplace and you can say what the business is. So mine's not going to come up now because I've already done it. I've already used it. So what you can do is put in your business, then go and click it in, making sure that it does click in. If it doesn't click, it means you don't have a business page. So you might have to wait to set up your business page and then come back and then put it back in again. You can create your own title over here. So if I want to put in boss, you can create boss and you can actually create that link there as well. You can then also put in your city and you want to wait for the link to come up. So these are all links. A short description, and then you can backdate the working over here. What you want to have a look at is these privacy settings. As I said, it is important to understand them. In every single bit of setting up this process, you can decide who gets that information. So right now, if somebody was to search for Chantal Girardi, because this is public, it means even though they're not a friend of mine, they'd still be able to see that. They'd still be able to see that information. So for me, as I said, I've got a very public profile, but for you, you may only choose that people on your friends list only have access to your business details. However, I would imagine it would be a good idea for everybody to know what business it is that you're in. So you can then choose to have it that only friends, so people have to be accepted onto your friends list before they have access to your work details. Only you, or there is a custom feature over here and more options too. So you can decide as well. So for example, if you're setting up a second business, and you didn't want your the owner of your employer to find out, you could actually put it in here that they wouldn't have access to that information. All right, so let's just discard that for now. So over here, you can see this is a direct link. When I hover my cursor over this, you can see it's a direct link to my Facebook page and it works. So many people have put this up and it's actually not a working link. So please be sure to check that it is a working link and it does actually take you to your page. Over here, you can see it's public, meaning everyone has access to that information. And I've put my title as a Facebook business coach. So you can add in here your professional skills, meaning that it does actually have to have a Facebook page for that skill or else Facebook won't let you enter it in. Same with your college. So you can see this is a link over here. I have got this hidden, so only I have access to that information. My high school over here, however, again, that is a working link. And you can see that only my friends, so only people on my friends list actually have access to that information. Now remember that Facebook's an algorithm. So the reason Facebook wants us to put this information in is because it's building its own DNA around who we are and what we're into so that it can match us up with other content. That's basically how the algorithm works. So by putting in all this information, we're telling Facebook what we're interested in, so Facebook can match us with anyone else who's interested in the same thing. It's kind of like an online dating system. So back on the left-hand side over here, you've got places you've lived. So you can see over here, that's a hyperlink. My current city is Burleigh. I can click through to that and it's public, meaning people can see that I live in Burleigh. And obviously I like people to know that because I do some one-on-one consultations. So people do like to see where it is that I live. If you have a look over here, my hometown is in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, and that's public as well because I would like obviously the people in South Africa to connect with me or other Australians to connect with the fact that I am actually South African when they hear my my slight accent. So here on the left-hand side, then you've got contact and basic information. So many people choose to have their mobile number hidden. This is only a mobile number. So if you do have another number, unfortunately, you cannot put that in there. So you can put your mobile number in there. Mine is public because my mobile number is on my website, it is on my business cards, and it is across all my advertising, meaning that I'm quite happy for my number to be public. However, if you don't want to do that, then you can just make that just to your friends only, or alternatively, you can have it to set that only you can see that. And you would do that by just changing that over there. Over here, you've got your address. So don't worry, you did hear me mention it earlier. Do not put your home address in there, please. This is actually my office address. So, and you can see that that's public. Here is your email. So you want to make sure that you've got the right email address in there. You can edit it over here. So you can see that my other two are hidden because I no longer use those email addresses. And the one that I use is public. And it's shown on my timeline. So people can send me an email. Now, if you want to add or remove emails, don't worry, it is going to take you to a different place. So don't freak out, but it'll take you over here where you can add another email or a mobile number. You are going to have your phone or your email activated so that you can check because they are going to ask you to verify it. Once they've verified it, you then can click over here to remove the other ones. And then we have to go back to our About section on our personal profile to finish working through it. Please be sure to click this little button over here that says allow friends to include my email address in download your information. So you know when suddenly people go on their phone, it says it may be this person, yeah, because it's connecting you through your email address. So I like to have that one ticked, but again, it is up to you how public or private you want to have your profile. So then what we do is we go back to our personal profile and we go back to our About section and back to a contact and basic information, and we continue to set it up. So you would come back into your emails over here, and then you would click the ones that you want to keep and remove the ones that you don't want to keep. Right, as we continue down, you'll see over here that I've got my website. So I've used my calendar booking link so people can book calls with me or appointments with me. So that is public, and then also access to my website. So you can see once again that if I click these, it is actually going to take me to that site. So it is important for you to click your links and make sure they all are working, please. So there we go. You can see that that one's working. As we go down, there is an opportunity here for you to add in your social media links. So please do not use your URL for this because it does look ugly on your front page. I prefer you just to add in what people would be searching for on those platforms. So there's my Twitter, my Instagram, LinkedIn, and my YouTube. And again, I have these public. As we continue down, here is your basic information. So some people choose to hide their birthday. It just means that people can't wish you on your birthday, and everybody loves it when Facebook goes, guess what? It's this person's birthday. So you may choose to have this one public or to your or friends. And most people choose to hide this one over here, although you now have all seen how old I am. So you may choose to wish your birth year. There is also a place for you to put in your gender, and if you like, you can also put in your religion, other things you're interested in, language and political views. So we go back onto the left-hand side over here where it says family and relationships. And here you can see my partner, that I'm in a relationship with my partner since July 3rd, 2016. It is public, meaning that if somebody's wanting to connect with me, straight away they know that I'm in a relationship with someone. So I've chosen to do this, so therefore you will be propositioned a little bit less. I won't say you won't be propositioned at all, but you do definitely get propositioned a lot less if you do have it that you're in a relationship. You are in fact able to not include the person. So you can actually take the person's name out and so that they cannot, so that it just says that you're married or in a relationship. There are different options over here. There are some really interesting ones as well. Just remember that whatever you put out to social media, you have to be willing to accept whatever comments or engagement you get back from that. So, and again, as I said, I've got mine public because that way people that are befriending me on Facebook straight away know that I am in a relationship. Now, family members over here, Facebook is wanting you to add into your family members. And the reason they want to do that is because then they can have a look again to work on the algorithm to predict what it is that you're interested in. So when they look at your family, see where your family's from, what other interests they are, they can build a bigger profile for you. However, I personally don't like this feature because if you were to be trolled online or somebody or upset someone online, they could come in here and look at your family members and have access to them. So I've gone in and I've removed all the family members by just on the right-hand side, hovering your cursor and removing your family members. Right. Second to last is your details about you on the left-hand side. So many of you may not have this set up, but it is important because if someone is going to go and stalk you, they're going to have a little look at what it is that you do and they're going to come to details about you. So over here, I've written quite a comprehensive one because I do use mine quite a lot for business. And again, this is public, meaning someone doesn't have to be my friend to get this information. So a little bit about me, about my story, and then some of the programs that I use, as well as, and again, reminding them that they can link or connect with me on my Facebook page. As you scroll down, there is an opportunity here for you to put your nickname in, and mine is Show and Tell, true story, and you can just put in a favorite quote or saying. Now this one over here, the last one is called Life Events, and this one's pretty cool. So Life Events is a place where you kind of catalogs all the really cool things that you've done in your life. So it becomes like a little bio. So here you can see some of the awards that I've won, some of the magazines I've been featured in or speaking events. And to tell you the truth, I've been a bit naughty because I haven't actually put in the rest of this year's yet. The good news is that you can click on Add a Life Event. And I only really use the bottom right one, which is called Create Your Own. And in there, obviously, I change or update and add my own photo in there. You can add a title. You can even backdate the date. And of course, you need to say something about it. So for example, when I was featured on Channel 9 News, I can put the date in there. I can put a picture in there. I can talk a little bit about what the interview was on Channel 9 News. You can even tag relevant people. And then over here, you get the opportunity to, I might just have to write just a bit, just to get that going. You then can click share to your news feed. And again, you can decide who's going to see that post. So it's public, friends accept, only you. And this one over here, which is really cool, only specific friends will see that one. So I am going to explain that a little bit more later on. We're just going to discard that post. But what really happens is this becomes a really cool catalog of all different things that you've done. And because you mark it as a live event, Facebook loves engagement. So Facebook's more likely to share that. So now that we've filled in everything on the left-hand side, we go back to our timeline, our personal profile. And over here on the left-hand side, we're just going to clean things up a little bit. So there's an opportunity here for you to edit your bio, and you only have got 101 units. So again, I keep mine, you know, kind of sort of very businessy and professional with a call to action, but many people might just wish to put in, love the beach, you know, love the sunshine, a mother of 3, living on the Gold Coast, you know, and as I said, you are limited to 101 units, but I like to milk it for what it's worth. So I've just got that little intro over there. That comes up first in your mobile phone. So when you've got your mobile phone, that little bit comes up first after your picture. And then as we scroll down on the left-hand side, you can edit the details over here. So you can see that we now have a catalog of all the things from your about section on your personal profile now sitting on your actual front page. So when people stalk you, that's what they're going to see. We can go in here and decide how much of that is on the front page. So you may wish to have your school on the front page and where you studied. But what I like to do is I like to just keep the relevant stuff on the front page, and like it's not really important when you join Facebook. And you can decide then what exactly is shown on that left-hand side over here. Here you can see is the pages that are managed. Again, you can either hide that or display it. So please note that this is only just deciding what you actually see on the front page. However, it is still going to be in the back end in the About section of your profile. And as you scroll down, you get an opportunity here to put in 9 pictures. Now, what I find is that one picture looks really great and it takes up those whole 9 squares. So you may choose to put in your logo or a really good picture of yourself. Or here, I've taken advantage of all 9 spaces and I've put in photos of on the radio, in the news, being featured on podcasts, winning awards, speaking at events, just to show the extensiveness of what it is that I do. But bearing in mind, this has been all well thought out in advance of how my personal branding is going to be on Facebook. So over here, while we're on the front page, I just want to show you friends. So you can see here that I have 3,005 friends of the possible 5,000 that I can have. So it is important for you to choose your friends carefully. How I choose friends is based on, do I know, like, and trust them, or do I want to know, like, and trust them? Because basically those are the only 2 sort of types of people that we really want on our personal profile. We want people who know, like, and trust us, or who we want to know, like, and trust. So I also say that we're looking for cheerleaders. So if they already know, like, and trust you, they're a cheerleader. There may be a current client, someone you've done business with in the past, someone who respects you or you respect them, or somebody that you know will refer you. And those are the types of friends that we want on our friends list. People that we want to be forefront of mind with, and people that we know that are going to refer to us so we can refer to them. Over here is how you post. So this is where you're posting to Facebook world. Okay, so we're going to go through that carefully because each post that we do, we can decide exactly who sees that. So I'm going to show you how. So I might just go, hi. If it's short, cheap and nasty, or it's happy Monday, thanks for wishing me happy birthday. These over here are called, I call them emotive posts. So you can, if they're short and cheap and nasty, you can just put a nice little background behind them. You could put in, oh my gosh, hate this bad weather today, or something a little bit more uplifting, happy hump day. Or you could just tell a joke. And again, these, as I said, are called emotive posts, and you don't really have to come up with a background. You can just use some of the colors here that they use. And Facebook regularly changes those as well, which is really cool. But if you were to go and write something a lot more, it'll run out of, there we go. It's run out of space. And from there, then what you can do is always add a picture or add a video, add a photo or add a video. And be sure to tag friends to reach a wider circle, which I'm going to show you a little bit later on how to do. Now, one of the things with Facebook is never be afraid of those 3 dots. So over here are 3 dots. Click open the 3 dots because it opens you up to a whole world of other opportunities. So for some of you, you may see those gifts that get used. You click on the gift button over here and say, for example, if it's Valentine's Day, you can put in Valentine's Day and there's a gift. You just click on the gift and it pops open. For example, if you might go happy, click happy and then have a look. You might go happy, it's the end of school holidays. And this means you don't actually have to come up with any of your own video content. You've got the lovely gifts over here. You can support non-profit organizations as well. And once you click on that link, you can actually set up a charity or a fundraiser through that. There's feeling as well, remembering that Facebook is wanting you to do this because they need as much information from you as possible. They need to know what you like, what you don't like, what makes you angry, what makes you sad, or what you like to celebrate, because it uses that with their algorithm. And checking in, which is something we spoke earlier. So you could go, right, I'm checking in at the Gold Coast. And if you don't have an image, it'll actually pick up the map. But if you have an image, and you put the image in, then it doesn't have the map anymore. It just has that blue clickable link over there, which again is telling Facebook where you are and what it is that you're up to. So when you're wanting to tag somebody, we use the @ sign. So we will go @ and for example, we might go, there we go, Chantel Girardi, and that becomes a hyperlink. So that's a glue hyperlink now, which many people don't know or realize. You can actually click and that'll actually link you to that person. You can also tag business pages. So for example, I might decide that I'm going to tag this networking group, and that's going to be a tag then linking them to their page. So every time you tag, you're reaching a wider audience and potentially going to put yourself in front of their audience. So tagging and checking in is really important. Not only that, but other people that are on the other side of those tags, on the other side of this check-in, can actually see your content as well. So you just need to be mindful of that as well. Now, when you go to post, there's a couple of really cool features. So you can either, on this news feed over here where you can click, you can make it public, meaning that even if I'm not one of your 3,005 friends on your friends list, I can see that information because it's public. It means that it's also shareable, okay? So if it's something business related, I might wish to have it public. But if it is something sort of more, say the kids have gone back to school, or you had a barbecue at your house, you may wish that only your friends see it. So this is where we click only friends, meaning that people can't actually share that content either. So for example, if you lose your dog, you want to make sure that it's public because else people can't actually share that and say, please can you help me find my dog? However, if it's about our kids or families, you may only wish that people that you've allowed onto your friends list can see it. Now this is really cool because you could go friends accept. So say for example, you want to buy your partner something for his birthday. You might go, I want to buy my partner something for his birthday. Does anyone have any suggestions? And you could go friends accept, and then you could then tag him and a couple of his friends. So therefore they don't actually get that information, which is really cool. Now, you might also go only specific friends. So say you go and you have that barbecue, and at the barbecue, you've got 3 sets of families, you're having a nice barbecue, you know, everybody's had a little bit to drink, some photos are going around, and you go, you know what, I only really want the people at that barbecue to see those pictures. You might go specific friends, and only those people will see those pictures and that information, which is really cool. So one of the other things that you can do is click this little box over here, which is your story. So as I spoke about it earlier, your story is like Snapchat. The content is only there for 24 hours and Facebook converts it into a rolling feed. So people don't have to scroll and read, they can actually just watch a rolling feed. Again, you have all your privacy settings over here for your story. All right, so I hope that that really gives you the confidence in using this personal profile to the best of its ability and understanding how you can still keep things public and private all at the same time. In our next module, I am going to show you more privacy and tagging settings so that you're even more confident in using your personal profile for business.